I want to thank American Bazaar, Asif, and Venki, all of us for bringing this outstanding event to this area, which focuses on one of the most important aspect of philanthropy. Frank, congratulations for your award from American Bazaar on your philanthropy. My question for you is, what excites you about philanthropy and why are you so much involved in philanthropy?
Well, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for your leadership and thank you for your hard work. And thank you, Asif, for doing this. We want to give him a big round of applause. Stand up, Asif. So your questions about the philanthropy. I am a philanthropist, and not a big-time philanthropist. To me, the philanthropist does not necessarily mean the amount you give, but it means how many people you have helped to succeed. I give the philanthropy because I'm always reminded and guided by the words of President John F. Kennedy, who said, "To whom much is given, much is expected." And I gained the financial independence and success in my life because of the help from our friends, from our colleagues, from our business associates. So when I give money to philanthropy, it is an investment. It is the repayment of that loan. And we should all give money to the philanthropists because it's the right thing to do. And by focusing on art and education, that our foundation focuses on, I'm hoping that I'm creating the future philanthropist. And there's one fellow who just stood up not too long ago and made a good pitch. Thank you very much for making a good pitch. And my fondest hope and expectation is the investment that I have made in an individual or organization, they will in turn make the investment in others, and that will make my investment sustainable. One of the criteria that I use in investing is to enabling and empowering people who are willing, who help themselves. And so it's a hands up, it's a helping hand, not a handout.
Thank you very much. So you are very strategic in your philanthropy. Your core areas are education and art. So within that, I wanted to ask you a question about one of your recent announcements on a major gift. You recently traveled to India with President Obama, and during that trip, you made an announcement of a $2 million gift to Aligarh Muslim University. And during the same trip, you made some other announcements also, all focusing on education. Could you elaborate about why you focus on education and what you're trying to do with these recently announced gifts?
So you asked two questions. The first question about the philanthropy to being a strategic philanthropy and why does it play a critical role in education and art. Your second question's about the giving a gift to Aligarh Muslim University. So philanthropy of all forms matters. Strategic philanthropy matters the most because it is a transformative, because it is not a self-centered, it is other-centered. And it is a critical point to transform the people's life and to make a difference and to have impact, positive impact on the people's lives. And the area that I focus on is art and culture. And those two critical areas, I call them a pivot points. which obviously is my book called Pivot Point, which I wrote my second book about a year ago. How do you move America forward in terms of the pivot points? So the education is a pivot point because this is education is an opportunity creator, and it's a powerful equalizer. And especially for the people that you empower the education, those who are underprivileged, who are socially, economically disadvantaged, and giving them a helping hand and giving them ladders of opportunity to succeed. When they succeed, we succeed, India succeeds, and the world succeeds. Your questions about, the second question is about art. I just did an event. Where is Manoj? Manoj and Geeta? Okay, just left. At the DC South Asian Film Festival at my home. And I'm always guided by the words of President John F. Kennedy, in terms of the art, which says the art nourishes the roots of our culture. And art plays a pivotal role in engaging, in connecting, and inspiring the communities. And also, art transforms all the boundaries because the fact that it also educates us, it inspires us, it connects us. In addition to that, it's a powerful and unifying healing tool as far as the art is concerned. Your second question, which is a very dear and near to me, is my donation to Aligarh Muslim University of $2 million. My wife, Debbie, and I are uniquely blessed. We embody the American dream. With that thought and spirit in mind, we contributed $2 million to build a school of management known as Frank and Debbie Islam School of Management. And we are delighted, we are pleased to make this investment to build this School of Management because it focuses on innovations and entrepreneurship. And also it will help the students to get education so that they can be successful, so they can help the other to be successful. And in addition to that, they can create jobs, build the prosperity all over India. And I firmly believe that my investment at Aligarh Muslim University will yield exponential returns. Aligarh have shaped my history and determined my destiny. Its principles have always guided me during the time of calm or the crisis. It is a true treasure. It is a precious possession. And it has been and continues to be a beacon of hope, aspirations, and dreams. And the values that I receive from Aligarh Muslim Universities that I still cherish, nourish, and nurture. And those include the best you can be, a love of education, and do well but do good. And also be candid and collegial, and help others. And also live in a peace and harmony to be tolerant and respecting the dignity of each and every one person. And Aligarh University students has always been our best hope. So my investment to Aligarh Muslim University is my way of saying thank you and keeping that hope alive. I would not be the person that I am today. I would not embody the American dream. I would not achieve the financial success if it were not the education at Aligarh Muslim University.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So Frank, when President Obama's visit was covered by Indian media, your gift to Aligarh Muslim University was very widely covered in the Indian media. But a second topic which I read in the media at that time, you also expressed interest in bringing information technology education to rural parts of India, especially in the areas adjoining Banaras and Azamgarh. Tell us a little bit about why are you interested in information technology education in the rural parts of India?
Well, first, I wanted to say that the education is a powerful equalizer to get people out of the poverty. Education is the gift that keeps on giving. Education empowers the mind and uplifts the soul. And it is the best investment that we can make to create the next generations of entrepreneurs, leaders, and innovators. So education is also builds the bridges to the future. It creates the opportunities. So especially education empowers the people because the fact that it frees the human mind from the shackles of ignorance. As President Obama once said, and I did go with President Obama to India, I was very fortunate, that the education will be the currency of the 21st century. But it is especially important in terms of education in the rural area in India. It is important in the United States because I have given a lot of, made a contribution to various institutions in the United States, but especially in India, the need is greater, especially for those people who are underprivileged, who are socially, economically disadvantaged. So by enabling them, by empowering them, by giving them economic mobility, they can do the wonders. If they are given the ladders of opportunity to succeed, they will help the others to succeed. Now, as far as your question with regard to Azamgarh and Banaras, as you all know that I am Alligerian, but I left India when I was very young. I was born in Azamgarh and I lived in Varanasi, which is the Prime Minister Modi's constituency. I reminded him, Prime Minister Modi, when I met him at Rashtrapati Bhavan with President Obama, that I belonged to his constituency. He was very pleased. But I did say that you are the Prime Minister of India for all the people, regardless of their caste, creed, religion, race, background, and belief. And it is important for India to recognize that India cannot show, some part of India, some people in India cannot show an ugly face, intolerant face, and not inclusive face of India. India has always been a beacon of hope, of democracy and diversity. Those are the strengths and the values and the qualities that we as an American share with India. However, some of the incident that has occurred in India these days is obviously very troubling to me. So going back to the information technology and helping Varanasi to build an IT hub, that's what I proposed. And I mentioned it to the Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav in UP also. He was very excited. But sometimes in India, it takes a mountain. You cannot even move a mountain in India sometimes with bureaucracy. But I'm working on it. It will be my desire, it will be my deepest desire to open an IT hub in the Varanasi-Azamgarh corridor so that we can train the 21st century workforce so they can have a job and they can create wealth and build the prosperity.
That is really, really exciting. Inclusiveness, technology and education brings inclusiveness, and everyone can experience an opportunity in the growth and prosperity. So my questions so far focused on India, but as you know, folks in US have benefited greatly from your generosity as well. So I want to talk to you a little bit about some of your major gifts in right here in the United States. And I want to start with your $1 million gift to US Institute of Peace. Why are you interested in peace, and why US Institute for Peace?
So first I will answer the question with regard to the US Institute of Peace. If you have not visited US Institute of Peace, you should visit it. It's one of the most powerful buildings in our nation's capital. So, and the second question is my investment in education institution in the United States, in addition to India. U.S. Institute of Peace, I subscribe to their vision, their mission, their goals and objective. And their mission is to prevent nonviolent conflict and the mitigations of the conflict. In addition to that, U.S. Institute of Peace is engaged, involved in transitioning the democracy, especially to the peaceful democracy and a stable democracy all over the world, especially in Afghanistan as well as in Iraq, and to some extent in Pakistan. Not that Pakistan is not a democracy, but obviously there are some elements in Pakistan that I know of probably does not subscribe to democratic values. So I always believe in their missions, in their goals and objectives because it's aligned with my own personal values. So that's the first reason. The second reason is my faith. I'm a Muslim, and every religion, and including the Islam faith, is for the peace and justice for all. Another reason for investing in the U.S. Institute of Peace is that each and every one of us in this world are created of a God, creations of God on this earth. And we have the just people doing the just things. So I firmly believe that investing in the U.S. Institute of Peace is a just thing to do. Your second question with regard to my investment in various universities in the United States. I'm on the board of trustees of many, many universities in the United States. I've invested and given a scholarship program, endowed the scholarship program as the chair at the University of Colorado, as well as at American University, University of Maryland, Johns Hopkins University. I just endowed the scholarship at the Marymount University, because I do believe that it is important for us to invest in education institutions in the United States, but the need is greater in India. As you know, Sanjay, you were the vice president of Montgomery College, and thank you for your leadership. And you have been the beneficiary of our kindness and generosity, because we have invested in Montgomery College by giving some amount of money, and hence you have named a symposia, and this symposia is known as Frank Islam Athenian Symposia.
So thank you for your generosity to various educational institutions in India, in India and United States. And among all your gifts, certainly to me, your gift to Montgomery College is very dear and near to my heart. That helped us establish a Frank Islam Athenaeum Symposia that has brought over the last 3 years more than 35 or 40 nationally and internationally known speakers to Montgomery College. Montgomery College is a community college with 60,000 students. Most of our students are first generation minority students. They do not have access to these kind of speakers without your generosity. So your generosity has brought Lily Ledbetter, Arun Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi's grandson, among your friend Dr. Akbar Ahmed from American University. And you spoke twice on your book. I remember the first book, The Pivot Points, how to make America work again. A certain presidential candidate has just changed the word work to great. You know who I'm talking about. Can you tell us a little bit more about your involvement in Montgomery College, which is a community college? How do you see them different in terms of workforce development? And tell us a little bit about your book, How to Make America Work Again.
People don't seem to realize that everybody cannot go to higher education, because obviously it's affordability and accessibility. But in order for us in America to be the greatest manufacturing hub, which creates about 22% of GDP in this country, we need the community colleges, because they are the pivot points for this, for not only for America, for all over the world to learn the trades and the tools and acquire a 2-year degree so they could also work in the manufacturing as well as some other parts. We do not need scientists and engineers to work everywhere. We need technicians also. And that's what Montgomery College produces. And thank you for what you do for Montgomery College. This is a great college, and we are so proud of that, associated with Montgomery College. I bet you. What was your second question?
Second question was, tell us a little bit about your book, How to Make America Work Again. There's a certain presidential candidate, he's saying how to make America great again. But I think you had the right idea. Let America work again. Greatness will follow.
Well, his slogan, which is the Donald Trump, who's a great businessman, he's a presidential candidate, he's a loudmouth demagogue. He does not represent the face of America. He has only 2 things that he has said. Build a wall between Mexico and the United States. And the second thing that I heard him say about the business, that everything that's coming from China, you got to stop it. So these are the 2 points that he has made. It doesn't seem to be workable for me, but he's doing very well in the poll, and that tells you a little bit about America engagement into the politics. But let me tell you one thing. We should all be engaged in politics because politics creates a common cause. Politics can change the landscape of the world and landscape of America, because if you engage in politics, you have a seat on the table, you have a voice. You're not on the menu, but you have a seat on the table. And also, each and every day, our policy that our congressional as well as the politicians are embarked on it, it affects our lives every day. So I wrote 2 books. One was Renewing the American Dream, which I published in 2009, which was the main essence of that thought was that America has always been a shining city upon a hill. As John Winthrop said in 1632 on a ship Arabella, that America is a city on the hill. You must always consider that all the eyes are upon you. Indeed, my story can only happen in America because America's generosity, America's inclusiveness, America's openness, and these are the strengths and the values of America that all of us can proudly and truly embrace. So when I wrote this book, I felt very strongly that we need to make sure that we who realize the American dream is giving back to our country, but not only that, we come up with the policies and plans and procedures so that we can tap upon and harness the resources of the small business and entrepreneurs who are the engine of this economy to take America forward. My second point about the pivot point. And the pivot point, the idea came from President Obama, who always talked about the pivot to Asia and pivot to many other things. So that's what my book, and it talks about the first one, how do you realize and renew the America and American dream, and how do you transform the America and American dream? And the second book is how do you move America forward by tapping upon the resources of small business, by building the middle class, by taking income inequality and justice in America, and also by creating the manufacturing hub. We have always been the best in terms of manufacturing, and we can do better, faster, and cheaper. And that was my theme and that's enhanced. When I wrote this paper, President Obama embraced it. And as you know, that he talked about manufacturing. As a result, the Congress, this administration has invested billions and billions of dollars to have the manufacturing hub. And in order for us to build the middle class America, is the 2 things we need. Number 1 is empowering them with education. And number 2 is to make sure we can create the manufacturing job. And hence, in order to make the education affordable, accessible, so that our children can learn the trade and to be part of the 21st century. And that's where comes the community college. And that's what President talked about, making it free, the community colleges. I hope the Congress passes the bill.
Thank you very much. Let's thank Mr. Islam once again.